Hello, my name is Erin Yarbrough, and I'm doing my report on the book The Triangle, The Fire That Changed America by David Von Drell. Here are some basic facts about the fire. The fire occurred on March 25th, 1911. The fire erupted inside of the Triangle Shirtwaist Factory located in New York City's Greenwich Village. The Triangle Shirtwaist Factory was located on the 8th, ninth, and 10th floors, which were the upper threemost stories of the Ash Building. A shirtwaist was a fashion craze of the 1890s, and the shirtwaist is also another term for a woman's blouse. The inferno occurred around closing time on the 8th floor. Speculations linked the flames to have first been ignited in a waste bin that was filled with lots of flammable materials. The fire marshal later stated that someone must have tossed a mattress cigarette butt into a waste bin. The fire spread outward from there. Even after attempts by the workers to put out the fire could not be controlled. With little more than a half an hour, 146 people, mostly women, lost their lives either in the fire or the days following. What made the fire so explosive was thanks to one of the factory's innovations. The innovation was converting the very tables they used into giant bins. This was done by boarding up the empty. Von Drell wrote from a historical point of view. He painted a picture of what life was like back in the 1900s for immigrant women workers who worked in the factory. They faced inhumane working conditions and they were involved in many protests. He recounted to the best of his abilities, thanks to countless interviews with survivors and records of what happened during the fire. The fire was a result of unsafe conditions of the factory and showcases the horrendous working conditions these workers faced. Von Drell points out how, though the owners of the factory were not directly responsible for the fire, there were things that they could have done to make the workplace safer for their workers. How the fire changed America. The fire sparked an uproar among the progressives and socialists in New York City. Groups such as the National Women's Trade Union League called for reforms and changes in the workplace. The political machine, Tammany Hall, that ran New York at the time, knew something had to be done. Two up-and-coming members of the political machine, Al Smith and Robert Wagner, were put in charge of creating the New York Factory Investigative Commission. The commission was officially put in place on June 30th, 1911, which was only 3 months after the fire. The commission focused on fire hazards that are found in factories. In response to the commission recommended the creation of the Bureau of Fire Prevention to investigate whether the proper safety measures were being undertaken, such as using fire drills, working smoke detectors, and fireproof materials used in the factories and in stairwells. Change also included the creation of the International Ladies Garment Workers Union and implementing workers' compensation acts. From my own research, Von Drell has the same opinions and information as these sources indicate. They all share the opinion that the fire could have been prevented if there were better working conditions and proper safety measures taken, and that this fire was the catalyst that made the change happen. Thanks to this fire and the reformers, there are safer working conditions and certainly safety criteria that need to be met in the workplace. These conditions make the jobs of emergency management personnel much more doable. Without these conditions, they would have no way of regulating certain safety requirements and precautions. Thanks to this fire, emergency management policy is now possible. Thank you for listening to my presentation.